Hi, Oh, Madison. Hi, Cece. Hey, Christine. I crack up at my times because every day it's like a little bit later. Happy New Year. And I was like sitting here and I'm like, should I do a live first or should I go to the food store first? Because I want to make, get stuff for dinner. And I'm like, I guess I'll do a live first. Because my kids don't eat till later anyway. Hi, Sally. Hi, Nene. But I'm a big crock pot person. I like when that stuff's sitting in the crock pot. So I'm thinking like, if I go a little later, we'll be able to cook quick. Hi, do I literally live in... Hi, do I... No, Ava, I don't teach manifesting that way. You're not living in your imagination. I'm going to make tacos tonight, Cece. Oh, I had to check to see if that was done yet. No, you're not living in your imagination at all. It's a completely different way I teach it. You need to know how this reality works. You got to break down all the programming that you've been that you've picked up over time. So it's more so about understanding that this experience is just for fun. It's all energy. This experience is just for fun. You're not doing anything to manifest. If you're doing anything to manifest, you're making it too hard. Well, you have to know how to get, so when it comes to anything, it's done. So that relationship, this person, they're trying to get to you. But you need to feel good on your own and feel good, fill up your own cup, and you got to start to feel good now. Or, I mean, you can't do things to manifest it because you're going to bring it in wrong. You're still not going to be happy. You're still going to be triggered and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, why can't I get this right? What am I doing wrong? How do you change it? By changing yourself. You don't change anything outside of you. It's understanding, Ava. It's not changing things. You're not changing anything at all. Everything's coming from you. You've created everything in your reality this far. You created it. You're the creator of your reality. So you've created everything in your reality. So you have to get yourself to a place where you understand that everything is an aspect of you. Everything is one. Everything is one. So if you're not liking something in your current experience, you have to learn how to like it. And that's what's going to bring in everything you want in the best way possible. You have to learn how to make peace with what you've already created, right? Because otherwise, you're going to keep creating on top of all of your programming and you're never going to be happy. So you got to understand happiness and feeling happy now. And again, how all this is just energy with belief systems attached to it. This is just energy. This is all just energy, guys. So everything's energy with belief systems and meanings attached to it, right? But everything's one. Nothing is separate from you. This experience that you want to experience, it's not separate from you. Okay? So you have to get to the understanding of that. But it's easy. It's easy. It's the reason why it's hard for people is because they're making it too hard. You're still searching outside of you. You're searching for more information. You're searching for more validation outside of you. You got to bring all that energy back to you and you got to quiet down your world. You got to move slower. You got to breathe slower. You got to relax more. Stop picking up your phone for validation. Stop picking up your phone to ask another coach how to do this. How do I manifest? What affirmations do I use? How do I work on my self-concept? How do I use my imagination? That's all limiting. That's all limiting you. And that will keep you in a trap. That will keep you in a cycle. You got to bring that energy back to you and what you've already created. Bring it back to you and what you've already created. You created everything. You will always create everything. It will never stop coming from you. It can only come from you. Your desires come from you. They're a part of you. They're trying to get to you. But you got to feel good now with what you've already created. That's how easy this is. And that's where all my stuff comes into play. All the stuff I create. Hey, Autumn. What did you say, Kira? Yeah, you have to stay calm. If anything's happening to you that you don't like, you got to use it to your advantage. 2, 4, 6, 8. So The cop didn't do anything. It's all you. Everything's being created by you. You that's something you really want to get. You want to understand you're creating everything. Nobody can hurt you, nobody can affect you in your reality. And if anything is, you got to get calm. You got to get quiet. You got to relax your body so you can break down the programming, right? Break down those belief systems that don't serve you. Anything that doesn't feel good, it's not the truth, guys. The truth is fun. The truth is love. The truth is peace. The truth is this is just a fun experience, literally. Do we create even the little tiny details of life and relationships? I mean, the details happen over time, Helwa, but don't, if something like that would cause me resistance. That question just causes me resistance. Don't worry about details of anything. Things just start to unfold very naturally. Listen, from all the stuff that I created, everything I've created this far with all of my ebooks and all of my audios, if I would have looked back and seen all of the stuff I created and not did it yet, and all that detail that came into it, I would have had a freaking heart attack. I would have said, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that. I can't do that. I could never do that. But it happened so gradual, Helwa. These things happen gradual. I'm telling you, we're making it too difficult. Everything that I've created this far has happened effortlessly because I continue making the best of what I've already created. That means my family. That means my friends. That means my home. That means my car. That means anything that even might not be working in my home. I'm going to learn how to make the best of it because otherwise you're going to keep creating unfavorable. You can't go from place to place, person to person, job to job and think that that's what's going to fix it all. That's not going to fix it. It's only you who can because it's only you and your energy. You're creating everything in your reality. It's all coming from you, 100% you. 100% you. You can't get away from that. You can't get away from yourself, right? Let me cut these sugars. Oh man, I moved my trash can because I put all my Christmas decorations away. My house is so empty and I love it. It feels so like quiet in here because there's no Christmas stuff, but I had to move my trash can though too. So I'm going to answer your guys' questions. I just want to get this tea ready for myself so I can sit down. So yeah, it's more of this is understanding. You got to understand this stuff, guys. That's what it is. Like we, I don't even like to say you guys because it's all of us. We all got to get to a place where we're understanding how this works. You never got to do anything to manifest. Everything's done. Everything is done. Manifestations are important. They serve one purpose, to help you move towards better. That's what they serve. They help you move towards better, so to have better experiences, more positive, fun experiences. So they're good. It's not like, oh, manifestations, you shouldn't manifest anything. No, that's why you're here. You're a manifester. You literally can't stop. Thank you for those. Thank you. Thanks for the roses, guys. Who was saying that about that? Thanks for the roses. Thanks for the roses. Thanks for the roses. Thanks for the roses. I seen someone do that. And I was like, what am I watching? Thanks for the roses. Thanks for the roses. Thanks for the roses. So yeah, it's like getting yourself everything, right, Christine? Everything is relaxing. When you start to slow your world down, when you start to slow down, thanks, Sebastian. That's when you're up. That's when you're speeding things up. So you're saying, how do we manifest SP? So that means you heard nothing I said. Everything you want is done. You're unlimited. Every possibility exists now. It's done. It's trying to get to you. How do we manifest SP? Why is that such a popular question? It's trying to get to you. These manifestations, every single one of them are trying to get to you. But what do you have to do? What does that mean? You got to feel good with what you've already created. You got to feel good with the things you've already created. Stop focusing on SP. It's only you. You create everything. Nothing is separate from you. So when you're trying to manifest a relationship, a person, your body, you're trying too hard. When you're doing affirmations, you're trying too hard. You're making this too hard. It's all you. It's all coming from you. You create everything in your reality. Nothing's separate from you. This is just a fun experience. It's all energetics. It's all energy, right? So it's just about you making the best of where you're at. It's literally that simple. I do good for a while, and then it feels like I get stabbed with it all over. Except you just got to keep relaxing, Bella. That's it. You got to listen. I had moments where I cried in the shower, where, I mean, I wasn't even like in the shower. Like I was out of the shower. I just went in there to cry. And I go in there and I just cry, release resistance. And listen, we're all running on a lot of programs and not realizing how much this is just an experience. Every moment I have a new awareness to something of how like, whoa, this is you know what my newest thing is now is that it's all me and everyone is me and everyone's an aspect of me. So if there's anything that I don't like in someone else, it's not them, it's me. It's in with everything's love. So you have to learn how to love that aspect in other people. That's why you can't run from person to person. Like, oh, I can't be around my mom. She's negative. Well, you're going to find that in someone else then. It's not going to be your mom, but you're going to find it in a friend. That same aspect of her, because it's all coming from you. So you have to understand, you have to learn how to love aspects of people that you don't love because it's only you, right? Do you get what I'm saying? So if you don't like something in someone, you have to learn to see the best in them. You have to quiet that down to see the best in them. There's good in every single person. You can find good in everybody. So you have to learn how to see the good in them because otherwise you're just going to see that in other people and you're going to keep recreating that, right? So everything and everyone, everything in your experience is just an aspect of you. So whatever you don't like in your experience, whatever triggers you still, you have to find a different way to see it. You have to find a better way to see it so you can keep moving towards best and better, right? It doesn't mean you're stuck in it. It doesn't mean you're stuck with it. Like if you're at a job that you don't like and every day you complain about it and complain about the people in it, you have to lighten up in that situation. You have to learn to lighten up. That's why my practices are so powerful. Thanks, Peter. You have to find a way to lighten up in that environment and see it differently and be positive in that environment. It takes some practice for some of us, right? But that's what's going to move you out of that job. I've manifested jobs by persisting and stuff, and you're not going to find happiness that way. You're going to find that, wait a minute, I'm still not happy, right? I feel like I'm still stuck again. What the heck? You got to learn how to be happy with where you're at. That's the only practice that you're doing. And yeah, you know what? You do get to a point where you do feel like you're okay without these things, but I want to experience these things. I don't dilute my manifestations that way by saying like, oh, I don't really want that. I want these things. I want them. So I don't look at it that way like, oh, I'm learning how to detach from what I want. No, I want these things. And I think that's actually a good way to be because you're here to have these experiences. But it's not about that. You have to learn how to not want these things to feel better though. So most people are moving through life like filling voids, right? They're just filling voids, but it's because they don't know how this reality works. That's all. They don't know how life really works. They're just not happy. But when you get to a place of happy, you're not going to ever say, yeah, I don't really want that beach home now. I'm good without it. Now I want the freaking home. I want the big home. I want it all. I want the cars. I want the home. I want it all. I don't ever feel that way. I just don't, they don't, like, it's not like you get to a place where you understand that's possible for you and you're unlimited and all those things are coming to you, right? Because you're watching how your life has changed so far and you're not doing things to fill voids anymore. I'm not doing things to fill voids, right? My day is very routine, but it's everything that I'm in alignment with because that's what starts to happen when you feel better now. Things just start to come in that are more in alignment with you, which creates more freedom in your life, more space in your life. And that helps you understand this more. That's why relaxing practices are so powerful, right? Because you want to really create that space, meditation, moving slower, relaxing your body, softening your body. Yesterday, I had to take all my decorations down. And I didn't feel like it, honestly. I'm not going to lie. But I moved slow. I took my time. And then before you know it, I was listening to music. And I was like, oh my God, I'm loving it. It looks so good in here. I love it. I like redecorate it and stuff. So it's when you slow things down, you speed things up. Always think of that. When you slow things down, you speed things up. So you want to slow down more. And you also want to be aware of where you're placing your energy. I don't follow Neville. So I did a while ago, but I stepped away from pretty much everything, Ava. See, that's the thing. It's just, you just create your own reality. That's all these amazing teachers are really telling you, is that you create your own reality. If this is all just energetics and you came here to have a fun experience. So I don't agree or disagree with anybody. It's all, you have to go within though. Those, you got to understand it's all within you, Ava. And guys, like, you planned all this before you got here. Everything you want is done. You have your own path. This is my personal path. Like creating my audios and my ebooks, I planned that before I got here. Nobody's going to tell me I didn't. Everything that happened to this point led me to that. That was a part of my plan as well. We're so unlimited. There's so many possibilities. So I don't go with, do I agree with or do I not agree with? Who do I follow most? Who did I follow most? Abraham Hicks. Abraham Hicks was my favorite because I just resonated with her energy. She has a very high energy, and I like what she says. She talks about unlimitedness. Abraham was the best to me because Abraham really lets you know how unlimited you are, that you can have whatever you want. You can have the 5 cars. You can have the 3 homes. She lets you know that to think that you can't have those things, that's a limit. That's a limit in your life. That's like saying there's a limit to how many things you can have and how much money you can have. There's not. There's no limit to anything you can have and experience. It's all energy. It never dies. There's not a limit to the amount of money. There's not a limit to the amount of homes you can have. There's not a limit to anything you can have. That's scarcity mindset. You're so unlimited. But she also teaches you how to feel good first, because otherwise you're never going to be happy. You can get these things. You're going to work too hard to get them. You're going to get them, but you're still not going to be happy. So her main message is to feel good, but she really wants you to know you are freaking unlimited. You can have whatever you want. You can have the 3 cars, you can have the 5 houses, you can have whatever you want, but you're not getting them things and you're not happy though. You're really enjoying those things and loving those things and enjoying life and really living a fulfilled life because you did the practices. You have to do these practices first. You have to do this energy work first. I'm sorry I missed your question. I was ramming. That sounds horrible. I was yapping. Leave it up to me to say something stupid. So when people talk about the lottery, it's so funny. I don't resonate with the lottery. I don't think that was a part of my path. I feel like I have good intuition in that way. I liked the unfolding of all of this. I enjoy the unfolding of all of this, of my audios, of my books. I never resonated with the lottery and hitting the lottery, ever. And I think we have a plan that we set up before we got here. I think we planned something before we got here because everything that has unfolded for me, guys, has been so extremely effortless. I think your desires are on your heart for a reason. I think you want these things for a reason. I think you planned it before you got here. So I believe in, I don't want to say the word contracts, but I believe that we come together with a collective of people, like my kids and my mom and my animals. Like, I think it's all set up kind of that way because you just vibe with certain people in your life. I've always been very intuitive and that type of a person. So I believe you set up these things before you got here, but you got to make it about you because they're all just aspects of you anyway. Everything and everyone is an aspect of you. Well, W, you're too focused on a manifestation. So everything I say is you're not gonna grasp it yet because you're too focused on wanting you are at a place right now where you want this thing so bad to feel better, but you got to feel better first, W. I think there's all a plan to it. If you're doing it the right way, why do some things manifest faster? Sometimes it takes forever. I think there's a I don't want to say like divine timing to things. If you're doing it right, there is a timing. There is a timing to certain things because you don't want to settle for less. You want to get this first. You want to understand this first. So I've gotten to a place by knowing how this all works is that, you know what? Everything comes in the right timing because if things come in too fast, it's going to be overwhelming for you. You're going to lose it quick. You're not really going to appreciate it. So I believe there is a timing to things. When you're working with your higher self, whatever people want to call it, universal forces, and you're just trusting within 100%, meditating, there is a divine timing to things. There really is. Say a woman calls me upstairs to tell me that someone was talking about me. Oh, I would be like, I don't care. Talk about me. That's fine with me. I would laugh it off, Linda. Because again, it's only if it affects you, right? If it really is hurting your feelings, you got to find a way to like laugh it off, Linda. Like, whatever. This is what I used to say, Linda, and I'll tell you what always helped me even before I knew this, guys. I know I'm a good person. My intentions have always been nothing but positive towards people. I want the best for everyone and myself, and that's enough for me. Knowing I was a good person, and I always feel like I make the right choices, whatever that may mean for others. That was enough for me. So if I came across maybe someone not liking me, which really created people liking me, and I didn't care if they didn't. So that's where I always had that benefit. So do I have to believe? Now, I answered your question today about this. You don't have to believe in your affirmations. You're not doing affirmations to manifest. You're not doing techniques to manifest. You're not doing anything to manifest, actually. You actually want to try to not do anything to manifest if you can. You're doing those things because it feels good. You're doing things because it feels good, but you really don't even have to do anything. Right? Like I create resistance-free affirmations and I listen to them a lot, but you're not doing, most of my stuff is telling you, really explaining how this reality works, right? Your most abundant timeline exists right now. It's making its way to you right now. There only is right now. You only have to make the best of right now. That's what my stuff really does. And then the new stuff that I'm creating is more words. There's no I am, because there is no I am. It's just you're an experience having an experience. That's it. We're all I am. We're all one. We're all one experience here. We're all, there is no separation. Everything is aspects of you. So whenever you don't like something in your life, it's okay, because now you're aware that you can move towards best and better. You don't have to love it, but you do have to find a different way of looking at it to release resistance. And that's what's going to keep you moving towards better, right? So there's no wrong or right to how you go about it. I give you guys my practices. I just like to do my best to see the best in everybody. That's just me personally. You can do it whatever way you want. It's changed my life completely by seeing the best in others and loving others and finding the best in others and just uplifting others. I've always been that way. So it does come easy to me in that perspective. I've never really had any enemies. Synchronicities and feeling good are the only things to know. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm not even comprehending. Synchronicities and feeling good are the only things to know you are in sync with your higher self. So you know what helps you understand? I'll tell you right now. Synchronicities and all that. Yeah, okay, I'm in alignment. I'm in that flow state right now. I'm working with the universe. Yes. But meditation, that's when you can quiet your world down and silence for a little bit from time to time throughout your day. Get quiet, turn everything off, especially when you're feeling some resistance or you're unsteady in your energy. Just sit in stillness. Try to really get quiet. That's real connection to your higher self, because what it's led me to is really focusing on myself so much, and what's bringing me freedom and leading me to my financial freedom and my just freedom in general, to being able to experience everything I want to experience, just happiness and peace in my life. And just that's the words, happiness and peace and freedom. How do I break anxiousness when I'm not? How do I break anxious? Well, the more you feel better with what you've already created, because you've created everything in your reality. So don't worry about manifestations, because when you're checking, that's you still doing something to manifest. You got to work with what you have. That's how you're going to start to feel better, is by working with the literal things you've already experienced, your family, your friends, your home, your car, your, wherever job you're at. The manifestation, that relationship, that person, they're going to make their way to you in the best way possible as well. But you gotta focus on this moment and feeling good now on your own first, right? Doing little things that feel good to you, like waking up every day, doing your makeup, doing your hair, and take your time. Because for me, some days, I gotta before I can pick up the positive momentum. This is why my practices are my practices. You're either gonna resonate with them or not. So this morning, when I had a little bit of resistance, I just took my time. I moved super slow. And the byproduct of me moving super slow, getting ready, is that all of a sudden I start to feel good. And I'm listening to a song as I get ready. And then I'm all right, I'm moving, like I said, by slowing things down. So you want to just continuously practice slowing down, taking your time, having patience. I like the word patience, because practicing patience really helps you to slow the momentum down of things. If you're in a long line at the grocery, why? I never stand in a line, ever. And I used to. I used to be like, oh my God, oh, why do I? Now every place I go to has self-checkout. Like, I feel like they do it for me. I feel like I'm the center of my universe. Like, literally. I feel like I created that. That's how, like, special I think I am. I never have to stand in a line. There's all self-checkouts any store I go to, and they're always empty. The world revolves around me. Like, literally, that's how you're going to start to, like, everything just works out for you. Nothing beneficial stems from now, right, Faith? Yeah. So anytime, so what Faith is saying, guys, is like, and what I'm going to add to what Faith is saying is that anytime you don't feel good, it is not the truth. It is not the truth. So get that into your mind. Anything that doesn't feel, now you're not going to have to figure out why it's not the truth though, because that'll drive you crazy. You'll never get to the bottom of it. You just got to keep relaxing. That's going to lead you to more truth. That's going to lead you to more positive experiences. That's going to lead you to more freedom. So anytime you don't feel good, it's not the truth. But I don't got to figure out why it's not the truth. I know I'm supposed to feel good. And I got to relax a little. I got to slow things down to shift the momentum to start feeling better. So it's really simple. The concept is simple, but we make it too difficult because we try to figure things out. We're always in our head space too much. But we got to practice getting out of our head spaces. So Linda, like you said, someone was talking about bad behind your back. That's not the truth, and you know it's not the truth. So laugh that off. I used to laugh it off. If anybody, it was obviously not the truth. It was like literally not the truth. Oh, Kira's a stuck-up snob. No, I'm not. I'm the sweetest person you'll ever know, but you don't know me at all. And I knew that. I was aware enough to know that as a kid, that if somebody called me conceited or stuck up or a snob, I laughed. In my mind, I laughed. I said, they have no idea. It really made me laugh. So it always inside I laughed because I was like, they have no idea what I really live. They have no idea what my life is like. Like that my dad's like never in my life, that he's a drug addict, does them in front of us, right? Like and I'm not saying to feel sorry for me, but like nobody truly knew me. But people are quick to judge you, but that never hurt my feelings. I knew I was sweet. Like I knew all that about me. So Linda, you have to know that about yourself. I know I'm a good person. I know I'm kind. I know I'm nice to others. And then that story drops. And then guess what? You kind of really don't experience those things much often because they can't affect you anyway, right? It bothered you, Linda, because you still have to do these practices. That's why. It's helping you relax more, stay calm more around these things that still affect you. That's it. You're too much in your head about it even now. So just meditate on it. Meditate on it, Linda. Quiet your mind around that. Hold space for that energy, right? That's important that like when you don't feel good, you give that moment on its own. Get calm, Linda. Soften up. Like anybody can tell you you're amazing, you're awesome, you're the best person ever. But it's not really worth telling people that because you got to believe it. I learned that too through my own experience. Tell me that I could be a millionaire, but I got to believe it. Anyone could say, Kira, you can have whatever you want. You can have whatever you want. And I'd be like, I don't know if I believe that really, right? Nobody can convince you but yourself. Nobody can ever convince you but yourself. So, Linda, I can tell you, I know you're amazing. We all know you're amazing, right? I know you're super sweet, super kind, an amazing person, but you got to believe that. And how you start to believe that is by when someone does tell you something mean and that hurts your feelings, go within and get quiet and calm, and you'll slowly release that belief, and you'll keep releasing it if it comes up again. Oh, my lips. Hold on 1 second. Because I can't get like... I use 1 second, Rue. I hate when that happens. Hi, Kay. Hi, Cece. Hi. Is it freezing? I got up too, Christine. I don't know if that mattered, but I can't see it on here. It doesn't say like it's, sometimes it lets me know if it's freezing, but it's not letting me know right now. So anytime anything shows up that affects you or triggers you a little, it's okay, because it's not a bad thing. It's reacting to me is just bringing awareness to what's not true, right? So reacting or getting upset or triggers are just making you aware of what's not true. I get some tips on how to tap in better with the 3D as a beginner. I don't know what you mean by that question, tap in. So you're just, okay, so it's really just knowing, Alyssa, is it Alyssa? Just know that everything you want is done. It's making its way to you. Literally, guys, whatever you want. I'm telling you, you're unlimited. You can have whatever you want. It's making its way to you in the best way possible. But by tapping into the 3D, you're just making the best of what you already created, Alyssa. So it's just knowing that you created everything. It's all coming from you. It can only come from you. Everything up until this point, you've created. It's learning how to make the best of what you created. Now, there's going to be things in it that don't match what you want anymore. We know that. But in those moments, you got to learn how to see the best in them and get calm around them and relax around them. And that's what's going to keep moving you towards best and better. So, right, it's knowing like whatever you focus and give your attention to, that's going to keep happening you're going to keep experiencing that over and over again, right? So it's really about learning how to just kind of flow through life, because flow will get you to where you need to be. Being in flow. So I talk a lot about flow. You're learning how to flow with the universe, work with the universe. And you have to do a little bit of practices before you know what it means to be in flow and go with the flow. So let's say I had to do something I didn't want to do. Let's say I had to do something and I have to do that today. I got to learn how to make the best of that. I got to learn how to flow with it. So for me, it would be just getting calm, making sure I'm not arguing with it, make sure I'm not getting mad at anyone that's involved, because it's all me anyway. Learning how to get through it, which will lead me to better experiences and make me magnetic as well for these manifestations. It's all serving you if you use it to your benefit. All these things that I talk about make you magnetic. They're making you magnetic for your best life and your manifestations in the best way. That's what my practices do, right? It's just my way of, they're my personal practices that work for me. So it's learning how to really work with the universe and make the best of where you're at. I love this little Italian thing I got going on. All right, good, Christine. Good. Yay, Cece! I usually go to Rite Aid and I'll buy it, but I was like, let me order this on Amazon. I'm going to do a little something different and order it. I know, and I always say I'm not even Italian, but I talk with my hands. I always did talk with my hands. It is so true, just not worry what other people think as long as... Oh, exactly, Linda. It sounds so simplistic, guys. It sounds so simplistic. It is simplistic. We make it more difficult. I can tell you where a lot of your power is going, and it's to like outside sources. It's to TikTok. It's to researching. It's trying to figure this out. It's to doing things to manifest. It's to... reacting to your circumstances. I mean, it sounds like everything, don't it? But it's bring it all the way down to the simplistics of, you know what? Everything I want is done. It's making its way to me. And the only thing I have to do is knowing you planned all this before you got here. You planned it all. There's a plan for you. I can't even tell you right now, how things unfolded for me. I could never explain it to you guys because it was so natural. It was so effortless. I say effortless. Obviously, I was still breaking down programs as it was manifesting. I still was breaking down programs as things were manifesting. But like when I think of it, how far I've come, oh my God, like I can't even believe it. All the stuff I created, all the audios. You know what I used to say though lately? I used to say, I want to have a whole library filled of ebooks. That's what I want to create on manifesting and helping people feel better and helping people understand this. And in my mind, I seen this visual of like all these like thousands of ebooks. I have thousands. But guess what? I don't really ebooks. I might write more, but I don't like, the writing's not my favorite. It's the audios that I love. So now if you look in my library on Gumroad, which is what I use, you'll see so many different things that I've created. It's all me. I created all of that. I can't tell you how it happened. You don't have to pay attention to the detail. The details happen as you're living your life. So like even as you get once you get that relationship, now you're going to grow and expand with that person. And you're going to the details will come over time. So don't be worrying about the specifics and thinking you have to visualize the specifics. No. Who wants to do that? That sounds like work to me. Like, I just know I'm going to manifest an amazing relationship and I'm going to grow and expand with it and I'm going to have the most amazing life ever. That's all I need to know. That's enough for me. That is enough for me. That needs to be enough for you. So when I knew, this is why I love Abraham Hicks. Oh, the man. I could try a different spot in here. I really got to get internet down here because it's not in the same room. I'll try this. No, I don't like that's my candle. That candle smells good though. Let's see. Let's see if this works. Let's just try it out. Let me know, guys. If this maybe works a little better. So, what was I saying? I was saying, like, it just comes together over time. So, like, you just need to know that you're going to bring that in the right timing, right? I know. I will. I'll work on some stuff. I need to have a new setup. I have to update it. Ugh, that candle is really just too bright for me. I sound like I'm from Boston? I haven't got Boston in a while. I'm from Philly. All right, keep me. Oh, I love this, Cece. This was a gift. I got this as a gift for Christmas, this cardigan. I am in love with it. It's so warm. I never take it off. This was from my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, who I love. I love her. She always gets me really great gifts. So, I don't know what I was saying. I forget. But, yeah, Abraham. And you know what's so funny about Abraham is I talk about this a lot, and I know I'm repetitive, but she always said the word empire, creating your empires. And I would listen to Abraham 24/7. I mean, I was on vacations with my family listening to Abraham. People would be talking to me. I got Abraham in my ear. I mean, I lived with Abraham for a really long time. And she would always say the word empire. I didn't really know what an empire was, but that's what I'm creating. I'm creating an empire. That's what I'm creating. So the more, like, but it just started happening. I wasn't asking, like, I want an empire. It just started evolving. But it's all things that you planned before you got here. You trust me, you have a plan. You have somewhat of a plan. Granted, you can still manifest anything you want, and we know that, and that's part of the plan, is knowing, like, you literally create everything. Everything's coming from you, but you have guidance. That's more what I mean. Like, you have guidance, guys. Like, you have an inner guidance system. You know, like, people just are so quick to say, like, you are 100%, but no, you do. You have guidance. You have a higher self, like, helping you. You just got to learn how to flow with that guidance and connect to that guidance. And you do it by meditating, by, I feel like that's so low, by meditating and doing, moving slower, breathing slower, relaxing practices. Like today, like instead, I'm telling you, meditation's amazing because anytime I don't know what to do, I'll just get quiet and I'll sit in silence. It always leads me to something that I've already created. So, all right, let me work on putting together that new affirmation that I'm working on for you guys. It's always leading me to my empire, my successes, right? What's best for me, what makes me happy. And that's what you start to realize. It's all for you to live your best life, right? Thanks, Mel. You're Italian, Alicia. I did the DNA thing before, and I was like, I wasn't anything I thought I was. I'm not even German. I thought I was German. I'm like, I don't even know. I'm just like random things. It's, you know what it is, Christine? It's one of those, the ones you plug in, the wax warmer. It's a wax melt. I'm just reading any questions. Is the DNA thing accurate? I don't know. I did it because I got it as a gift. I wouldn't have bought it for myself because I don't really care, honestly. But I bought it because I got it as a gift and I wanted to use it as a, like, and tell them that I used it. Ah. I have friends that say that so much. My family always says we're German, but we're not. Yeah. And from what I understand, my grandpa's last name was not even spelled correctly. So his last name sounds German, but from what I understand, it was never even spelled correctly. And I thought he was like super dark, and my mom was super dark. So like I just assumed like I get my skin from my mom, like my dad was super pale. So like I just always assumed that my mom was brown eyes, dark skin. My dad was blue eyes, light pale skin, like literally. So like I just assumed that I get like take after my mom more, right? I have the darker eyes, I always had the darker skin, I have the darker hair. So I was like, she looked German, so did my grandpa. I just don't know what the heck happened there. But like I said, I never really cared. It wasn't like I have to know what I am. Like, I just always said I was Irish German. It was just easy to say it like that. It's so funny. It's so funny when people say that, Italian. Everybody assumes that. Girl, wait. You know what? Here's something about me, Holud. Holud says, how do you feel about 2024? You could have told me it was 2025 and I'd be like, oh, I feel great. I don't look at it as, it's another day for me. I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying this. I don't look at time or dates or calendars or New Year's resolutions. I don't buy into any of that. I never did. It's just another day for me. It's just another day. It's another day. Literally the same thing as yesterday. I don't look at it as like, oh, a brand new year or nothing. I live in the moment. I'm not kidding. I live in the moment. So I mean, that's just how I view life. So when we were at my brother's, they had, he's like, oh, I made sure I was like, oh, did you buy so you can recycle your New Year's stuff? I said, you got to make sure you don't buy anything with a year on it. And I was ready to say the year, and I was like, shoot, I don't even know what year we're going into. Was it 2023, 2024, 2025? Oh, this lighting's killing me. Yes, I'm with Christine. It's just another excuse to celebrate. I never really was like, oh, for my New Year's resolution. Like, that stuff always, like, I never resonated with that or vibed with that. Always moving towards best and better. That's my approach. Right, Christine? Me too. User said, such an Italian thing to say. Well, I didn't know it was New Year's. My daughter reminded me. She's like, Mom, is today the party or tomorrow? And I'm like, oh, it's tomorrow. I was dead serious. I said, oh, the party's tomorrow. Tomorrow's New Year's. And she's like, Mom, today is. And I'm like, today's New Year's Eve, Mom. And I'm like, and then I asked Missy I don't want to say her name. I asked her, and sure enough, I was like, shoot, the party's today. I got to go get stuff to make food. So I ran out and got everything to make for the party. And it was fun. We had a lot of fun on New Year's Eve. But that's me. I'm Mrs. Clueless. I'm Mrs. Clueless. I always say, wait, this is what I said. This is when I said, when I went to my brother's, I said, oh my God, whose birthdays did I miss? I'm sorry. Happy birthday, guys. Because I don't go on Facebook, and that's how you know it's people's birthdays. And I don't mean to like not say happy birthday or anything. Like, I just don't focus on that. So you're lucky I get my kids' birthdays right? So I just went in, I automatically said, happy birthday. If I missed anybody's birthday, you know, like, I love you all. Because I don't go on Facebook to check the updates and stuff like that. That's just not me, right? I used to do it, but I even felt pressure in that. Like, don't miss somebody's birthday. Oh my God, what if it's their birthday and I miss saying happy birthday? Like I said, I have a huge family, so trying to keep up with everybody was just next to impossible. So like I said, you're lucky my kids get me remembering their birthdays. Hi, Claudia. I mean, I know my brothers because I probably know my brothers better than I know my damn kids. I don't know why. But that's as far as it can go. Once you get to sisters-in-laws and cousins, and I do know my one cousins, but like, and that's about it. Like and my parents, even my dad's, I sometimes forget. Like I can only go so far and then I ain't remembering it. Of course, Bella. I'm a homebody. I love to be home, but I also enjoy being with my family and friends. But if plans put it this way, if plans get canceled, I'm like, okay, that's fine with me. Like, I don't need to go out to have fun. I can have fun at home. But when I am with my family and friends, I always have the best time, right? Always have the best time. So you can be whatever you want to be. Whatever you want. But I don't go out all the time, right? Because everybody's busy with their families. So it's not like we're planning stuff every weekend. It's really good to be, well, that was just a question that person asked, Holu. That's all. That they just said, is it okay if I want to be a homebody? But if you want to go out and meet people, go out and meet people. You can meet people on drive-thrus. I became best friends with some of my drive-thru people. It's not hard to meet people. You're meeting us right now. This is all friendships, right? When I go to I have friends, literally, I have friends at Dunkin' Donuts every day. Like, I go there, oh my God, hey girl. Like, we sit and have conversations. Like, you can meet friends anywhere, guys. It's not hard to meet friends. Just be kind to people and you'll meet your people. Can doing nothing be enough to be happy moment to moment? Well, doing nothing is going to lead you to something, V. Doing more of nothing is going to lead you to more things that are in alignment with you. So there is going to be a time where you feel like nothing's happening, but actually a lot is happening, right? So it's making peace with where you're at. That's really the practice, V. Make peace with where you're at, and that allows space for more things to come in. But in the meantime, things are happening. Things are happening. You're not aware of it so much because in the beginning, we're too focused on what we don't have. And we think we're making this harder than it needs to be. And we're wanting things to feel better. So you got to do these practices for a little bit to realize that nothing is separate from you. Everything is you. You created everything this far. It's just a lot of the stuff you created unconsciously, right? So you didn't want it. It just kind of like you just went with what you thought you could have, right? Based off limitations, right? So the more you do these practices, you really just make the best of where you're at because you still did create it all. And more will start to come in, just knowing what you know now. That I'm supposed to feel good, right? And let me make the best of where I'm at with the things I have. Like, you think you're doing nothing. You think you're like distancing yourself from people, but you're really not. Everyone's doing their own things, living their own lives. You're just understanding life differently now because you're going a little bit more within to understanding how this reality works. So you feel like you're distancing yourself from people, but you're really not distancing yourself from anyone because everything is you anyway. It's all you, right? Everything and everyone is an aspect of you. Yes, yes, yes. What Kay said, you're very focused on what you don't want at first. You got to break down that programming for a little bit by doing relaxing practices and meditating, and then you're going to start seeing glimpses of, wow, look what I've created. Oh, wait, this does work. And you're going to feel those moments of freedom and those moments of I am so unlimited. And then you might go back to old patterns again because you're still breaking, not go back, you're still breaking down programming. You're still doing these practices. So like, it's just you. That's why this is a practice you really want to stick with, because it will lead you to your freedom. But this is the ultimate practice. I feel like I nailed it. I feel like I got it down packed, literally. So you just got to stick with it. You really got to stick with it. What are you really doing? And that's what I talk about in my free ebook, Emotional Roller Coaster, because that's what it feels like at first. So you're like up and down, right, at first. Hi, Claudia. How long did it take you to practice this? I got introduced to Abraham, I think 3 to 4 years ago. I got introduced to Abraham. I started listening to Abraham about 4 years ago, but and I just kept doing it. I kept meditating and, like relaxing and doing everything, trying to probably making it harder than it needs to be, just like everybody else. So I had to go through some things to realize, this is a lot easier than we realize. But if you just stick to like meditating and making the best of where you're at, those two things, and like moving slower, doing those types of practices, you'll start gaining more clarity, right? So like a lot has happened within those 4 years, right? Like my whole life flipped upside down, guys. I moved twice in those 4 years. I manifested a job from home in that time frame. Many things fell apart in my life, but I knew I was asking for change. I knew what I was asking for. I was very aware of what I was asking for. So it's not by like fault any of that happens. It wasn't like, oh my God, it was helping me get good at non-reaction as well. What I was reacting to, I realized that's the patterns that I wanted to get rid of. So I wanted to be clear of all of that. I really wanted to get this. I really wanted to understand this. There's no rules, Linda, because some days I don't intentionally meditate. I just move slower. I take my time. Thanks, Jules. So I think once a day is fine. Once a day is fine. Like 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, sitting in silence is enough. If you feel like doing it again, then yeah, do it. But don't force yourself to do it again. Like I said, I don't intentionally meditate anymore. I do it if I feel like it, or if I'm like, instead of grabbing my phone, I'd rather sit in silence, because whenever I sit in silence, I'm led to something that I've already created to make that better for me, like moves me towards best and better. So meditation just keeps me moving towards best and better. That literally, it's the best way I can explain it. Did you ever get into No, I never did self-concept. I never resonated with it. I don't resonate with the word work. I don't resonate with having to tell myself I'm amazing. You're born amazing. You're born perfect. You're born worthy. It's the programming that you picked up over time that that is telling you you're not enough. So you just have to delete those programs. So that's where I come at it in the opposite end. I'm not trying to like tell myself I'm amazing, because to me that's contradicting something that I already am. Right? So I don't vibe with those ways of manifesting, doing self-concept work and work and trying to bring things in to get things, because it's very limiting and it really doesn't bring you the happiness that you're truly seeking and the peace that you're truly seeking. It's just manifesting on top of the programming. So you just have to do more of relaxing practices and moving slower and making the best of what you've already physically created, the physical things, right? Really staying away from your phone and staying away from any type of techniques. I mean, you can go on your phone. Don't sit. I'm not trying to say ever get off of it, but just be very aware of how much you're on it and what you're really entertaining. Is it really serving you, or is it just keeping you in a pattern? Is this keeping me in a pattern? Right? So always ask yourself those little light questions. You'll get out of it. See, here's the thing. I've stayed in patterns for a while that weren't serving me. And I realized it many times, like, oh my God, like I'm just scrolling, doing nothing. I could be sitting here meditating instead. I'd rather meditate because that's going to move me more to my successes. That's going to move me more towards building an empire. That's going to build up more of things that move me towards more things that move me to having amazing experiences that I want to experience, right? So I would rather not really scroll, but I think there's a time and a place to do it because it makes you aware of what's out there too, right? There's a lot of things that I see like, oh, I would like to have that, or I would like to have that. So I think everything has its place and timing, right? So it's really about trusting yourself and trusting if this doesn't feel good right now. Like if I'm watching something that I don't want to watch, I will not watch it. No, I don't vibe with this anymore. I can't watch, like I just don't, this doesn't feel good to me. So I'll just turn it off, right? Same thing with TikTok or social media. This doesn't feel good. I'm supposed to feel good. So I'm going to step away from that, right? Because here's the thing. You got to work with what you already have. So if you keep bringing more things in and you're searching too much outside of you, you're actually just piling more programming up on more programming. So it's really just best to work with what you already have, the physical things, your animals, your friends, your family, the people, your fridge, your furniture. Like I know it sounds really silly, but like literally just working with what you have and making the best of what you have is the only thing you need to do. Only thing you need to do. If you want it to be easy. Amira asked, how do you start meditating? Very easy, very easy. Meditation is so easy. Just find like a sound you like, Amira. Find a sound. I always liked fan sounds, air conditioned sounds. They were my two favorite. White noise. You can find them on YouTube. And if you can find yourself like a pair of headphones to put in, if not, you can just listen as you're sitting there. Keep focusing on the sound. Keep listening to the sound. Relax your body before you do it. Soften your body. Just relax your body and just listen to that sound. Set a timer too. Like give yourself 10 minutes to start. And then you're done, right? And if you want to add more, add more. So don't make it too hard for yourself. Like if you find yourself resisting meditation, make it 5 minutes, make it 3 minutes, work your way up, right? Don't put pressure on yourself about it. I do have a playlist on here on TikTok that's called Easy Fun Meditations. And there's just a bunch of cool sounds on there that I put on there for people. And there's also visuals too. So you can just like look at the cool visuals while you're just relaxing and just focusing on that sound noise and just keep redirecting your focus to the noise because that's what you want to do. You want to strengthen your focus on your strengthen your focus. That's what I felt meditation was doing for me. It was helping me strengthen my focus. I know, I love it. And now I can just sit in that quiet space. I love the quiet space. I love the nothingness. I just listen to like whatever's on in my house and I just sit with it, and it always leads me to making another audio or putting my audio together for you guys, or creating a TikTok. Oh, I really want to get this message out there. So it's all things that are in alignment with me. What am I going to do for dinner? All right, let me make this for dinner. I don't know, it just like leads me to the next best thing, right? What did you focus on during meditation? Just the sound. Nothingness, Holud, nothingness. So I silence out everything. Silence out everything. Yeah, that's another popular one, Kay, is like watching a flame on a candle, just staring at the flame. Anything that's going to like relax you and just relax. Like get yourself very comfortable in a nice warm blanket. And you don't have to like do any mantra or anything. Just get yourself comfy, cozy. Even if you want to lay down, you can lay down and just kind of just close your eyes. Get yourself really comfortable. And just get to that quiet space and just give it time to like, give yourself time to just really relax and fall into that meditation. Keep it fun, right? Don't make it so serious. Oh, that sounds amazing, Shelly. I always say that. I want a real fireplace. I don't know how that I could do that like here, but I mean, you probably could, but I want a real one where you put firewood in it. Meditation helps us not react, judge, or expand our consciousness. Yes, Faith. Right, Kay? I say right and I don't answer your guy. I don't read it. Yeah, Shelly, vacuuming. I like to clean. I mean, like I said, not always. I don't always like to clean, but sometimes I'm in the mood to clean. I just love it when it's all clean and clear and I can just sit and relax. Thanks, Mel. But you do get yourself to that place where you enjoy sitting in silence. I'm not going to lie, I always did. I always did. I never thought that was a weird thing. I didn't even realize I was doing it a lot, but instead of having TV and all that, I always liked quiet. I can sit in silence. I can sit with no sounds and I can just chill with my own energy. Yeah. I also have breath work and meditation and on a playlist on here as well. I know, me too, Shelly. Like I cleaned out, I put all my decorations away nicely and I went and kind of organized the closet a little bit, like the storage closet where I put them all. And it's like, oh, it feels so good. Everything's so clean. It's so empty in here. And I left a few lights up because I might do Valentine's decorations because my daughter likes that stuff. I probably would skip it, honestly. But she said, you got to do Valentine's. So I'll probably get some stuff in the window for Valentine's and maybe put some things in here. But I know, Linda, right? And then you can just sit and relax. I love when dinner's cooking. Like I am. I said you'll get back to the basics. Like literally, I love that. Like a home cooked meal, like something cooking, smelling up the whole house. My house is clean. The candles lit. Like that's what I'm all about. That is literally what I'm all about. Just stay calm. A pregnancy scare, just stay calm. Everything's fine. Like you have to calm yourself down. Like the same thing. You just want to relax your body, calm yourself down. Just know it's going to be okay. It was literally just a scare. That's all it was. Everything's fine. Moving towards best and better. Just same thing. Anything. Like anything that doesn't feel good, anything that causes a reaction out of you is just helping you relax, right? It's not the truth. There you go. Straight up, that's not the truth. That's a good obvious one. Oh, I got a pregnancy scare, but that's not the truth. Calm yourself down, relax, and you'll move towards best and better. So just always remember that if it doesn't feel good, it's not the truth. So like sometimes it's obvious. I always say that. You don't have to go digging of why it's not the truth, but sometimes it's obvious. So she had a pregnancy scare. So in that moment, breathe. You're good. You're moving towards best and better. Everything's always working out for me. I know. I don't have a candle. Well, this can. No, mine can't be a candle. All my kids have candle warmer things and the wax melts. All of us. We all got 3 different smells running around in here. Of course, aim. Exactly, right, Shelly? That's what it does. That's why I say slowing down speeds things up, right? And I always did this. I always was like this. So when I was like, oh my God, I got so much to do. Like I got to clean this whole entire house. I would just take my time. All right, let me start in the kitchen. I always had parties. So we were the party house. Like before my life flipped upside down, we were the party house. So we always had parties. So like I would be like, all right, time to clean the whole entire house. And I would just take step by step to get
each room clean, right? You just even after the party, right? That was always worse. And I just say, all right, take your time. You take your time, and then you pick up momentum, and then before you know it, it's all good, it's all clean, and you're loving it. You're having fun. You're having fun cleaning. So I relate it to like normal things. When you slow the momentum down, you speed things up. You make yourself more magnetic for best and better. Always, 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 always. Yeah, and then you're done and you have all this time. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I got done so quick. I didn't, because you first think it's going to take forever, don't you? Like, I was looking at all these decorations and I'm like, oh my God. Why did I put all this stuff up? I have a few things still like hung up. I got to get on a chair and get them, but. Mine's Italy. I don't know why. I think it's because, not because I'm Italian, because I'm not. I just think it's so pretty. I mean, I want to go everywhere. I want to see everywhere. But for some reason, Italy's like the pictures and like, it looks historic to me, like the way, like somewhere you just want to walk around. The food, because I love food. Yeah. Yes, and that's how I visualize it too, Kay. And I like to eat. We all know that. And you know what, Cece, I know that for some reason because for a very brief like a little bit, I was following a girl that she moved. I think she like lived in like, I don't know where she lived, but she actually moved to Italy, but she's not born and raised there. And she just picked up and moved to Italy, and she said like the life is there so relaxed and everybody just like is so chill and calm and like live a different lifestyle than us. Oh, that's so cool, Jules. I'll have you, Claudia. Yeah, actually, you went one time, I believe, when you were on here, right? I'm just seeing if I missed anything. Oh my God, Kay, that sounds so pretty. From a club. Did you ask a question? What would you recommend telling people who ask about, for example, did you get it yet? Well, I don't tell people. I just say keep your stuff, keep your life quiet, keep your life private. If ever anyone asks you how things are, everything's good, everything's fine. Like, just don't give people too much, because when you don't give them too much, they're not going to ask you questions. Because you're living in the unknown as well, for the most part. Like, you know, but you don't, right? So it's like you kind of want to just be very short and sweet. Like, everything's fine, and yeah, oh yeah, like it's good. I'm not focused on that right now. I'm focused on myself. You could say those types of things. I'm just focused on other things right now. So just keep it short and simple. And the more you do that, the less people ask you questions, right? So just keep your life private, really. That's like the best answer. Oh, yeah. So, like, I think I am private. I think I used to nervously share with people. It was more when I was more of on the other side of things and, like, going through some stuff. But I had to, like, really step back and get away from that. Because you would learn that's what you focus on grows. So, listen, guys, if it's positive and you're okay, that's fine. You can say whatever you want. If you're like confident about what you're talking about and it feels good to talk about it, that's okay. It's when you're still not convinced yourself, so that, because that's what's going to be reflected back to you. So like, if there's anywhere I have hesitation, I ain't telling anyone anything, because you're just going to get those reflections back and those reminders back, right? But if you're very confident in what you're doing and you're feeling good about it, and you already have some momentum in it, then of course talk about it. It can actually serve you to talk about it. This is all goes back to trusting yourself and where you're at, right? So like, don't think you can never talk about your life with people. I mean, of course you want to. It's exciting when things start happening and manifesting. But it depends on where you're at, and if you're like fully aligned with those things, or even semi-aligned with them, because then it can create more resistance, right? Yeah. So Shelly, if that helps you, that might serve you, talking positive about your things. But here's the thing, I'm private, but I have a family, a big family, and I go around them all the time. We talk about all kinds of stuff, not just our lives. Like, we talk about other things, and we're laughing, and we're telling jokes, and we're watching TV, and we're singing songs, right? Like, you don't have to think that's, like, you don't have to talk about your life all the time to have relationships with people, guys. Like, you can just talk about other things. You can talk about just other things. I don't even know. Like, when I'm sitting around with people, sometimes we're just talking about, we're laughing about stuff. We're playing a game. We played a game. Like, we sat and played a game. Like, you don't have to like tell people your whole life just to be close to people, right? That's probably another program that we've been told. Your life will speak for itself over time too. It'll speak for itself, right? I'm a quiet person anyway, so I can like sit and just listen to people a lot of the time. And then I'll chime in here and there. And you can be the one that shifts the momentum in a lot of conversations now that you know what you know, right? And just make it more positive, help someone see something a little bit more differently. Kira, did you notice when you started to shift your focus from circumstances, like unfavorable circumstances, Kay, or because things just started to fade, like they didn't have that much power over me anymore. Like the things that didn't feel good, unfavorable, they just started to shift and work in my favor, like, or fade away out of my life completely. That's like what I always talk about, right? So a lot of the things that like were unfavorable in my life that I wasn't lining up with anymore, I had to keep finding it different. Every time they would pop up and still affect me, I had to keep doing my practice. I had to keep relaxing my body and softening my body and responding in a way that didn't keep it active in my life, right? That's why I was talking about, it doesn't really matter what you say. It matters if it's going to release resistance for you to keep you moving towards best and better, right? To not keep that fear active in your life. Is that what you meant? And I would say up to recently, God, like that took me a long time for some of these stories. Cause like I tell you guys, my whole life flipped upside down, like literally. So there was a lot of things it helped me go deeper though. It helped me go deeper within. And when you go deeper within, it makes this more simplistic though as well, because you understand that everything and everyone is an aspect of you. So you got to find a way to see the positive in that situation in order for it to really shift. Oh, I love that, Shelly. Well, that's what matters to me, is that you guys are getting something from it. You know, I like to think that I like to get to the truth of things before I speak. Like, I don't want to just blab. Like, this is like my true life experience. This is what happened to me. So the deeper you go within, the more simplistic this becomes. It's so contradicting. That's why I said, like, the more you slow down, the quicker things manifest, the quicker you move towards what you want. You know what I mean? So like, it's really like, it's very contradicting. But yeah, the things popped up continuously for me. So I had to keep finding a different way to approach it. Still coming from love though. Like, I have no ill feelings towards any of this situation. I just want to move past it. but I had to find a way to move past a lot of these things, but it's up to me. So that's why I tell you guys the story doesn't matter. The circumstance doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say. It matters that you're finding a way to release resistance around it so you can keep moving towards best and better, literally. So I had to, but I noticed that I wasn't hanging on to these things long. Like I was able to just keep shifting and moving toward things that are working in my reality by relaxing, by staying calm, by going within, maybe by crying from time to time to release some resistance, whatever worked in that moment. So you find your own way. This is where you really are. You are getting better at it. It's all serving you. Everything is serving you. Everything is serving you. It made me get better at explaining this, even in my audios. I have more new stuff coming out. It's so good and it's so powerful, and it really talks about lower energies. And that's basically what my audio is doing, right? My audio is all there to help you in those lower moments, because we panic in those lower moments, but you have to find a way not to panic in them. You have to find a way to see it differently so you can get out of this story that does not serve you anymore. And you really can't be mad at that story because it's still an aspect of you, right? Yes, it doesn't line up with you anymore, but it is still an aspect of you. So if you leave it angry, you're going to keep experiencing it. So you've got to find a way to soften it, to soften the resistance around it. I know it's not easy all the time, guys, because these stories suck sometimes. They do. That's the dead honest truth. It's like, why? I'm such a good person. Why does this keep happening to me? Like, I really just want to move towards best matter. I just want to live my life. I just want to be free from all of this and be able to help as many people as I can and live my life with my kids. Like, that was always my intention. But you gotta dive deeper within to really understand how easy this actually is and how much more difficult we make it. It really comes down to just working with what you have already created and learning how to make the best of what you already created, because that's what's going to free you. That's what's going to free you. And these practices will, again, they'll help you do that. Oh, I made some mac and cheese last night. I was like, how do you make mac and cheese? It was just Kraft and not eat this. Like, my daughter wanted some. And I'm like, I could never make a pot of this and not eat this. Like, even when my kids were little, I would make them their mac and cheese. Everybody always wanted mac and cheese, right? Kids, I was always eating that, the rest of it. That was my dinner, scooping the rest of the mac and cheese. And I'm like, how does anyone just let that sit in the pot and not eat that? You have to eat it. Yeah, Shelly, it really is. And we're so loved. We're so loved and we're so protected on this journey. We're so being guided because you are choosing best and better for yourself. You really are choosing to see life in a more loving, positive way. And your guidance is there. We just got to quiet down to hear it. And there's so many distractions in our world that keep us from our guidance system. So the more you can just really go within and soften that resistance and relax your body and say, please help me, please help me. I know that sounds like you're being desperate, but you're not. You're doing the right thing because you are constantly choosing best and better for everybody involved in this situation. Sometimes I had to make some hard decisions doing it that I wasn't sure what to do. I was like, do I do this? Do I do that? I don't know what to do. And I noticed that the patterns were continuing until I made maybe that little tougher decision. That I didn't feel like that was maybe always the right decision, but it actually was the right? Do you know what I'm saying? So there's no mistakes. You just get better at it and you find out as you go along, okay, yes, that's what released that story, by doing that thing or saying that thing. It's all working for you. Like Shelly said, guys, it's literally all working for you. It's tricky at first because our intuition is blocked by so many distractions. My daughter has a challenge. Her boyfriend, oh, I'm sorry, I missed that question. I can already say my daughter has a challenge. Her boyfriend afraid to be engaged. Now, you have to get out of her path. I'm going to be honest with you, imagination. I've learned this with my kids. They have their own path. I know that sounds mean, but she might be coming to you asking you for advice, but I would tell her the same thing I would tell you, and that's what you would tell her. Just know you're moving towards best and better. Focus on yourself, but you're creating a very unfavorable story around this. He is a mommy's son. He's a mommy's boy. This is all unfavorable stories that you're creating. It's very limiting. And you really have to know that you just got to tell her what I tell you, but you have to know that first, that there's a best case scenario and it's making it to her. It's making its way to her, right? So you just got to relax and know it's making its way to you. Feel good on your own. Fill up your own cup. Do all these practices. But that whole story is very limiting. That everything is an aspect of you. Remember that. Go back to that. You have to really learn how, you can't be jumping in other people's realities and trying to create for them. You got to learn how to stay in your own lane, even when it comes to your kids. Your kids will figure it out by you being an example in their lives, plain and simple. Your kids will figure it out by you being an example and living your best life and doing what brings you joy. That's enough. That's enough. But that's all just getting involved in your child's lives and putting out more unfavorable stories. So I would say focus on yourself, more imagination, trust that everything else will work itself out for your kids. And when you can be more like in alignment and feeling better and understanding this, then you can be able to give her the right advice. Like, you know what, it'll work out for you. Everything always works out. You're always moving towards best and better. You'll know what to say. You'll have the right timing with things, right? Do you kind of know what I mean? So you got to learn how to stay in your own lane, even when you have kids. I have 3 kids, guys. They have their own path as well. You know, I could be quick to say, I really don't want my son working this type of job, but he loves that job. Who am I to say what his path is, right? I could get my head for a second and say, oh my God, he's working so hard, my baby, right? But I see him all the time there, and I go, like, he's like, I love it here. I love this place. He's so damn happy. I don't know what his path is. I don't know what he's doing for that, what his, you know, like I said, it's all an orchestration. He's such a positive kid. That kid, like, I don't like, you know, but as a mom, we want to jump in their lives and we want to think we know best. And we want to think like, let me teach him. Let me show him the way. He has his own path. My kids have their own path. I'm just there for them, knowing that they're going to figure it out as well. And if they need me, I'm there for them. I hold space for them. I hug them if they need me. If they ask for advice, I give it to them. But for the most part, my kids, they're living their own lives and they're finding their way through life just like all of us, right? No problem, imagination. I know it's like a tricky at first because these are all programs as well. Like it's easy to go back to old patterns. It is. I don't like to say that, but it is. Like you find yourself just so easy to slip into that like gossip, drama, complain, even if other people are doing it and jumping in with them and like getting sucked into those old patterns. So it really takes a lot of awareness to catch like, I'm just going to listen. I'm just going to be here. I'm not judging anyone. I'm not judging them. I'm just going to sit here and just be quiet. And, you know, maybe I'll be able to say something to uplift the conversation in this moment. It's not going to keep me away from being around people either, though. Like, I want to live my life and I like people. So you can just sometimes just know what to say, the right timing, the right, you know, I'm not judging them. I'm not judging people having those conversations because most people are running on programs, right? And they don't even know it. They're not even aware of it. Like even for me, it's so easy to slip back into old patterns, right? Because we're all human. It takes a lot of awareness in practicing this to like really be like, whoa, old patterns do not serve me. I'm just going to sit back, get quiet, relax, or take a little walk or something. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off. I didn't realize it was almost 4 o'clock, and I'm going to go get some stuff to cook for tonight. Packing bags. Packing? Who's packing bags? Someone going on vacay? Ah, Linda, yeah. You get it more. You get it. You will get it as time goes by. Just keep reminding yourself that everything you want is done. You're unlimited. Everything's making its way to you. Everything. Your most abundant timeline. You don't have to be clear at all. You'll get clear as time goes by. You're just making the best with what you've already created because you created everything in your reality and you will continue to. You only have one practice to do, and that's make the best of what you already created. The physical things in your reality, what you created. You're not doing anything to manifest at all. Do not do things to manifest. You just want to constantly create a feel-good atmosphere. And when you can't, always go back to my practice. When you can't feel good, go back to my practice and my reminders to relax your body, soften your body, and try to just let that pass by making the best of it. That's where the practices will serve you, will help you. Woo, that's so weird. All right, everybody, I'm going to head out of here. Love you guys, and I'll be back tomorrow to chat with you guys. Hi, Pixie. I feel like I didn't get to say hi to everyone. Heading to Kennedy's Town. I love it, Christine. Have fun. Maybe one day I'll get into like more. I mean, I do eventually want to get into more like plant-based foods, and I would like to more get into that one day. I can't right now. I have let me get through this stuff and make the best of where I'm at, and eventually I feel like I will move towards that kind of stuff, like stuff that's grown, like fresh and all that. Girl, you want me to do a cooking tutorial? Let me do a cooking tutorial. Here's my crock pot. Here's my grilled meat. Let me open up, plop that grilled meat right in the crock pot. Here's some seasonings in there, a block of cream cheese, because I use cream cheese for everything. And that's my cooking tutorial, guys. One day I will. You know how it is, Cece. Whenever, I should do the cheesesteak one. But guys, I feel like I'm split between two. My energy is so split when I do it. Because like, I want to answer questions, but yet I want to cook too. And I want to be relaxed. I always find myself a little overwhelmed when I'm doing like tutorials and trying to answer questions. So one day I'll have to like say, all right, guys, this is just a cooking tutorial. But you know, it's always going to turn into manifesting somehow. Now that makes me want a Philly cheesesteak. I make the best cheesesteaks. I'm going to be doing a Sunday dinner soon for my family. So that's going to be coming up. But yeah, I can't do a tutorial for that. So, all right, everybody, casseroles all day. I am all about the casseroles. I am all about the crock pots. I am all about, as long as my house smells good with the food, I'm good. I make some really good like casseroles and that kind of stuff. Like stuff for like big groups, because we've always had parties and we've always been hosters and like that type of thing. So I was always good at making like lots of food for things. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I will see you guys later. If not today, I don't know, but definitely tomorrow. It's already kind of late, so. All right, guys, love you guys. If we get the rest of the day list ahead of time, we can cook with Kira. Yeah, we could all cook together. We'll all have like a taco night. Or if we did the cheesesteak ones, I would tell you guys what to get. But I don't think you can get the cheese. Can you get steakums everywhere? Like, I like the good old-fashioned steakums. But I don't know if you can get them everywhere. Like, everywhere around the world, like steakums. All right, let me get off. You know me, I'll never jump off here. I'll keep yapping. All right, love you guys. I can't even do this. What's wrong with my fingers?